So I kind of forgot about Mizzou, Kansas. So we're going to talk about Ole Miss, Kentucky just because of last year's game, but scratch that. We're adding Mizzou and Kansas. Starting off, though, we got Baylor and SMU. Just last week, looking at Baylor, problem was containing Jackson Arnold. That was their issue. I think they went a lot of too high trying to limit Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton. Mm-hmm. In doing that, you let Jackson Arnold run all over the dang field. Not high or low on Jackson Arnold. I've always thought he wasn't able to throw the ball. Can't judge him off of that because I don't even know what his stats were. I think, what do you have? Like 10. He only had like 10 completions, I think. Yeah, off rip. Off the top. He didn't throw the ball a lot, but he rushed for like 100-some yards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they allowed 321 rushing yards on the game.
That's insane.
So, not saying that SMU is a different caliber of team against Auburn or versus Auburn. Got to clean that up. Bright side, Sawyer Robertson, although it wasn't his cleanest game, he still threw for 419 yards. And they've got a guy at tight end, Michael Trigg, who runs and moves like a wide receiver. That's a bright spot. Cole Wilson also went for 134 yards. I think – and then, well, on the other side, you got SMU real quick. Kevin Jennings didn't look great. He had a fumble and an interception against East Texas A&M, I think, something like that.
Yeah, somebody. Sorry, I can't remember.
Also, 8 penalties for 84 yards. And on Pro Football Network, they had a offensive line rating as a D. So, that's the look at both teams.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take SMU. And I'm brief. I didn't get to watch the Baylor-Auburn game because I was out covering high school football. But I'll say, man, like, you get beat that bad by Auburn, man. You give up that much rushing ability, man. And knowing what SMU has in that backfield, man, I would assume the story will be pretty similar. I didn't know their offensive line played that poorly, but, man, give me SMU pretty handily in this one. I'm not expecting very much from Baylor.
Yeah. See, and this is the thing. It's like I want to be high on Baylor, but that's one of my notes is the downhill running that SMU has versus the legs of Jackson Arnold. Granted, you're looking at two different things here because, I mean, they just didn't – like there was no adjustment, not even putting a spy out there.
Mm-hmm.
You would expect them to change that this week, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I've got the line is SMU -3. I think they cover. I think it's maybe 6.7 point game.
Yeah.
Next game we got Iowa State, which is big noon kickoff.
Yeah, I was hearing whispers, man, and maybe you can confirm because I didn't watch Iowa's game last week, but I'm hearing whispers that Iowa has a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Okay, and I wrote this down. So,
yeah,
Mark Gronowski, 2-time FCS champion. He won the Walter Payton Award, FCS. He had 10,000 yards at South Dakota State. Only threw for 44 yards on the air. They didn't really need to throw the ball, though. They had 310 yards rushing. So, I'm going to assume they throw the ball a little more. I mean, not saying that they have to or haven't, but, I mean, Iowa hasn't historically been a passing offense. They've got a quarterback that can throw the ball now. So I'm going to assume that they throw the ball a little more. Other than that, I mean, you look at the other side, Iowa State, I think my 5 quarterbacks preseason that watched, one of them was Rocco Beck.
Yeah. He had a good game last week, too. 1 incompletion.
Yeah. Yes. And that's why I'm going to lean Iowa State on this one, just because I think with Rocco Beck, not saying that Mark Gronowski hasn't played in big games because he's a 2-time national champion, but I think Rocco Beck's a little favored in this game for me. Now I will say that with Iowa's defense, they like to stack the box a little more. So they're
Hmm.
gonna have to get more out of the receivers. I know that was a problem week 0, but like I said, rain, cow pasture. Expect that to be different this week. So,
Yeah.
but
I'm gonna go the same way, man. Give me Iowa State. Give me Cyclones, man. Iowa just you've seen. I guess I feel like over the past 3 4 years, how like just not being able to be dynamic offensively has finally really come back to hurt them.
yeah,
Like they were able to rely on defense and run game for so many years, and the game's just slowly passing them by. So if they have a quarterback and they have a guy that's going to be able to generate some offense, I think they'll keep it really interesting. But I haven't seen that guy play, so I'm going to lean with what I've seen and Rocco Becht in that Cyclones offense.
yeah, and that's the comparison of two conferences too, because I feel like Big Ten. Not saying they're old fashioned, hard nosed defense, like to run the ball a lot,
Right.
versus the Big 12, who I would say likes to air it out a little more. Um, we'll see how that plays in this weekend, but yeah, I'm leaning Iowa State. So
Mhm.
next game, we'll skip down because I want to save Oklahoma and Michigan for last, but Mizzou and
Okay.
Kansas. Like I said,
Yeah.
this was quick notes. First time meeting since 2011, and you've got two quarterbacks in Bo Prabula and
Hmm.
Jalen Daniels, who they both looked really good.
Yeah.
Jalen Daniels went 18 for 20. Bo Prabula 23 for 38 with 346 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Hmm.
A guy on that Kansas side, Eman Hudson,
Yes, sir. Man,
130 yards. Yeah,
E-Man had a great game, man. I'm not surprised, man, and I think it was smart for him to get up out of Tuscaloosa just because of the depth I do feel like we have in the receiver room. You didn't see much of the Saturday, but E-Man's a great athlete, man. Like I just remember in my time there, he was practicing on both sides of the ball at one point in the season. So I'm not surprised at all to see that man out there balling, man. And I'm gonna take Kansas because of that. I don't
yeah,
really care about lines or who quarterbacks or nothing. I'm like, hey, yeah, I want to see E-Man ball, man. So
yeah.
give me the Jayhawks.
This is a tough one because Mizzou is favored 6.5 points.
Hmm.
Um, it's tough for me to pick one or the other, just because of like recency bias in a way. Jalen Daniels is in 6 years, 6 years
Yeah.
quarterback. He's shown flashes. He's shown low lights too. But then you've got a guy like Bo Prabula, who I mean, they played Central Arkansas. I'm not saying good or bad team, but he lit up the scoreboard,
Right.
expecting a whole different look from Kansas. Um, yeah, I mean, this rivalry is. I mean, you can look at the history book. I mean, it's blood. I mean, they hate each other. You never know in a
Yeah.
game like this. So, for the sake of, I'm going to pick Mizzou. I don't think they cover, but just for sake of you picking Kansas, I'm going to pick Mizzou.
There it is.
Yeah, but this is a game that I think is probably my favorite game to watch, other than Oklahoma, Michigan,
Michigan. Yeah.
which
That makes
we'll talk
sense.
about that now.
Let's do it.
I told you about John Mateer.
Yeah.
I think he's the most underrated quarterback in the SEC. He threw for 392 yards on air for his debut, which someone fact check me on that, but I heard that was like breaking Baker Mayfield's debut. So
Okay.
we'll see how that all plays out. Only rushed for 100 yards. They got a guy from Cal, Jaden Knott, who's been a little banged
Hmm.
up. So I think he
Yeah.
only had 2 touches. I think he should be
Yeah.
100%. I think he
Yeah.
should be 100% for this game. So,
Okay.
and
Bet.
they've got 5 returning starters on O line. Granted, that was a problem last year, giving up sacks. So hopefully we get that cleaned up this week. On the other side, Michigan, you got a guy in Bryce Underwood who they paid millions of dollars for. Threw for
Hmm.
251 yards with Tutty, and
Hmm.
found this out quickly. But most yards on air since J.J. McCarthy in 2023. where
Man,
he threw for 335 yards. So that's the notes I've got.
yeah,
I'm going to say this with a guy like Bryce Underwood. We saw this last week with all the hype and pressures on quarterbacks. I think it's hard to put that guy in a spot like this. on the
yeah,
road, on
yeah,
the road, Sharon Moore going back to Oklahoma. Um, yeah, I hope he does well. I hope he
yeah.
does well.
So here's what I'll add to it, man. Because I can't believe you failed to mention this. Like, yeah, Mateer had a great game. I think 30 for 37, something like that.
Yeah,
Um, 300 over 300 yards, almost 400 yards against Illinois State.
yeah,
So I do want to pump the brakes a little bit, you
no,
know.
fair.
Um, I I've been hearing a lot about Mateer, similar to what you're saying, like underrated guy, one of the best quarterbacks, coming into the SEC this year. I'm yet to be convinced. Not that I don't believe he might be quality. I just need to see it with my own eyes, and I haven't yet. So I'll see what that looks like now that he'll play against a solid defense in Michigan. But on the reverse of that, I think, also on that side of the ball, he's going to need the help of, I think there were 32 carries for like 103 yards,
Yeah,
something along those lines, 3.2 yards per carry. That's not going to fly. You know what I'm
no,
saying? If you run the
no. They
ball
only rush for 100 yards. So
only rush
you're
for
right.
100, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So you look at they did that against Illinois State. And even if you only carry the ball 32 times or however many times it is, you need to average better than 3.2 yards a carry, probably against a team of that quality to have a positive outlook on your rushing game going up against Michigan, who's going to be much more physical in the trenches in the defensive line. And if they can hold that run game, can Mateer beat Michigan on 37 passing attempts? I'm not sure.
yeah.
So I'm looking at that, man. And Justice Haynes, I got to give him a shout out. We talked about it earlier.
Yep.
Went crazy on the ground, man. Made it look like it was all Bama's fault. He didn't pop off. So, you know, I'll be excited to see what he does in that game. Bryce Underwood, uh, I think, like you said, in all the talk about like first game quarterbacks, people who hadn't proven themselves, he wasn't world beating, but he was solid.
Hmm.
And I think if the run game can remain to that quality, and that's all you need from Bryce Underwood, I think Michigan's going to win a lot of games. I think Oklahoma's favored by 2.5 because
I
they're at
think
home.
I think the line switched.
Switched.
Yeah. I think it's changed a little bit. Let me check real quick. Um, yeah, to your point about Bryce Underwood, one thing that because I just watched it a little bit in passing, but from
Mm-hmm.
what I got was he wasn't afraid to stay in the pocket.
Right.
So you see that a lot with new quarterbacks, kind of afraid to stick in, roll out, and try to do things with their legs. Let me see real
I did a
quick.
lot. Yeah.
Uh, Big noon kickoff. Where's it at? Hello?
Are they big noon? I think.
Oh, they're not. You're right. You're right. We
Yeah.
just talked
I
about
think
that.
Iowa State is big noon. Yeah.
Yeah. So the line is now 5.5 favored for Oklahoma.
Oh yeah. So one, if even if Michigan doesn't win, I take Michigan to cover.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm going to take Michigan to win as well. That's my prediction.
Yeah. The thing here is, I mean, I'm not saying this was the same level of game, but you kind of
Yeah.
and Sharon Moore and Josh Heupel are two different guys, two different positions when they were at Oklahoma. But you look at a game like last year where Tennessee comes to Oklahoma,
Hmm.
prime time, game days there, night game, and Tennessee gets a win on the road.
Right.
Brent Venables is already on the hot seat. Uh, Not saying like a win like this changes that I think this is a must win for him, in my opinion.
for sure.
In saying that, I got Michigan as well. I think I
Yeah.
think I think they're a little more physical. You look at the history from last year with the sack problem. You're going to have a more physical defensive line on Michigan's side. I think they're going to get to John Mateer. As much as I've talked so highly of him, we're going to need to see more from John Mateer than I think. I mean, obviously last week was against who you said, but
Hmm.
yeah. Well, this is gonna tell me a lot about John Mateer. Um,
Yeah.
then saying that, yeah, I think Michigan goes in, like you said, you don't have to ask a lot from Bryce Underwood. I'm not saying he goes for 251 yards. I'm not saying he goes for 300 yards. You make a couple passes, you open up the run game. Yeah, I think it's going to be just a battle of the trenches, and I think Michigan's got the edge on that. So
Yeah. Um, this is my last kind of note on everything, man. Uh, and I may need you to clip this, right? Because you're a Tennessee fan. Tennessee resides where in the SEC. I want to get this out the way first.
wait,
I'm
what?
an Alabama fan.
Hold on, I want to say this.
Tennessee is in the SEC,
Yeah,
right? I'm an Alabama fan. Alabama is in the SEC, right? We're both SEC fans, right? If Michigan goes on the road to Oklahoma and handles business, y'all need to revisit all that stuff where y'all called us stupid. And that conversation we had about the Big Ten overtaking the SEC
yeah,
after Ohio State gets a win against Texas and Michigan gets a win against Oklahoma. If that happens, we need to revisit that conversation
yeah,
and start talking about that again because it's getting scary out here. They got the
yeah.
number one and the number two team in the land right now.
Uh huh.
Where we at, SEC? Come on.
No, you're right, dude. And I mean, Penn State, which you beat number one. You beat number
Right.
one. You deserve to be number one. But looking at the two teams, I think Penn State's a better team than Ohio State right now. That's a hot take. They're my
Hey.
number one team right now. Granted, a lot of football left,
Yeah.
but oh, you're right, man. I mean, I wouldn't say I necessarily agree with you before. I was like 50-50, but
Yeah.
it's just the level of, I guess, old fashioned versus new fashioned football. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, just the battle. It's just literally the battle of who's more physical. And saying that, like, I love Tennessee to death.
Mm-hmm.
You put Tennessee up against an Ohio State right now, not
No
a chance.
close.
Not a chance.
And like I said, man, everybody talks about the depth, but the Big Ten is deep right now, man.
Yeah.
Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Michigan.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Just in the top four. And you want to put that up against the SEC's top four right now. It's a lot closer than people want to admit. And the Big Ten may have the edge.
Yeah. And I mean, you look. We can talk about that too, real quick, because I don't know who would you say the top in the SEC right now? Who would you say off
We
off,
got
off the top? Who would you say?
LSU. I still think Texas will be in there. Georgia,
Mhm.
and I'm not sure who the fourth spot belongs to right now. I think it's
That's
really up for grabs.
yeah. And you look at Georgia's game against Marshall. It's Marshall, but they look good.
Right.
I watched a lot of that South Carolina Virginia Tech game,
Mm-hmm.
and special teams wins and loses ball games. It's the
Right.
truth. That's Beamer ball for you. Um, there was a flag on a punt where Beamer decided, let's re-kick it, takes it to the house. That changed the whole ball game there. I
Right.
say all that in saying this. I mean, they got a beast in Lenore Sellers, and they got a beast in Nick Harbor. And
Right.
I want to point this out for anybody that watched the game. Virginia Tech's receivers were a bunch of dogs. And
Yeah.
that's what, and I don't know where I'm going with this really, but it's hard for me to pick South Carolina as my number 4 just right now. Granted, I mean, that's a good win. They
Yeah.
got a long road ahead of them. But 1-3 in the SEC is, I mean, yeah, it's LSU, Texas, Georgia. A lot of question marks and a lot of other teams. A&M, they played against UTSA, which they didn't look too great against UTSA. Go down the line. I mean, Ole Miss. You could say Ole Miss.
Austin Simmons, though, two picks and a fumble against Georgia State. You know what I'm saying? Like they blew him out, but that makes me nervous for them heading into, you know what I'm saying, the rest of these games. Alabama does not sound like they'll be in that conversation for the fourth spot, but nobody has confidence in them to beat anybody right now.
Yeah, I mean, I said that earlier. I mean, you're giving a lot more confidence for teams coming in. In my head, I was thinking beginning of the season, I was like, you look at Mizzou. You know, they're at home, but Alabama's Alabama. Now I think Mizzou's got a little more of a chip on their shoulder. Vanderbilt's got all kinds of moxie now against Alabama after last year. Auburn's got moxie. I'm going to throw Tennessee out there. Out there. We're now favored against y'all at Tuscaloosa. Yeah, granted, that's months away. That's a month away.
Yeah.
But, dude. And you look at the Georgia game now, and then Florida. Florida's got a brutal schedule. They got a brutal schedule. If they end up going undefeated, probably the best season in college football, I don't think they go undefeated. Just with the look at the schedule. I mean, I think 8-4, 9-3, not good. Which, granted, Florida looked great against Long Island, but man, it's tough. It's tough to throw. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it unfolds. That's great bringing that up.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying we need to evaluate that conversation again. While everybody called us, they said you guys don't know ball. The top two teams in the land right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I got. Thanks for coming on. We'll see how this week unfolds. See about Sunday, maybe next Wednesday too. But that's all I got, man. Thanks for coming out. Like and subscribe.
Sure.
Appreciate everybody. Thanks.